Thank you very much, Nestle, for inviting me. I'm delighted to reacquaint with my sister once again. Hi, how are you? And I'm also delighted that when I just listened to your fireside chat, that as they say, it was a successful woman. Distinguished applause. I thought that was something that I was fishing for. Distinguished representatives of Nestle Nigeria PLC, captains of industry, development partners, members of the diplomatic corps and business community, esteemed stakeholders in the food and nutrition value chain, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I stand before you today at the Nestle Nutrition Summit 2026. I bring you warm greetings from the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, whose administration remains firmly committed to building a prosperous, inclusive, healthy, and economically resilient Lagos. I must first commend Nestle Nigeria PLC for convening this timely and important summit themed Nutrition for All Life Stages, particularly at a time when nations across the world are grappling with rising food costs, rising, or should I say, insufficient nutrition gaps, supply chain disruptions, and changing economic realities. This gathering demonstrates leadership, responsibility, and vision. Can we applaud Nestle Nigeria PLC? The conversations we are having today are not merely about food though. They're about human capital, productivity, public health, economic growth, and ultimately the future of our society. Nutrition remains one of the most important foundations of sustainable development. A healthy population, after all, we all concur, is a productive population. Children who are properly nourished learn better. Workers who have access to nutritious food contribute more effectively to economic growth. Families with access to affordable and healthy food experience improved quality of life. This is why the issue of nutrition cannot be separated from commerce, from trade, and from investment, agriculture, manufacturing, transportation, innovation, market accessibility. Should I go on? Lagos State understands this clearly as a commercial, economic, and financial center, nerve center of Nigeria, and one of Africa's fastest growing economies. Lagos occupies a strategic position in shaping market systems that improve the lives of millions of people daily. Under the leadership of Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, our administration continues to pursue policies that strengthen food distribution systems, improve ease of doing business, encourage private sector participation, expand market access, and support enterprise development across critical sectors. Lagos contributes over 60% of Nigeria's non-oil exports, valued at $5.3 billion in 2024. Thank you. A testament to the productive capacity of our people and the enabling environment this government continues to build. Very soon, and Mr. Governor has been working assiduously to actually establish and set up the biggest, largest food logistics security hub in sub-Saharan Africa. It's located at the Ekpe axis. It has an incredibly large cold chain facility, and it's actually located in the Lekki deep sea port axis, and also where Mr. Governor is going to be building the second international airport. So I just felt to just share that these are some of the other things that we're also doing. The Ministry of Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, which is the ministry I head, continues to work collaboratively with stakeholders to create an enabling environment where businesses thrive, addressing the social priorities such as affordability, accessibility, and inclusion. We recognize that improving nutrition outcomes requires strong collaboration between government, manufacturers, distributors, cooperatives, SMEs, development institutions, and most importantly, the consumers themselves. In Lagos, we are increasingly focused on building efficient and sustainable value chains that connect producers to markets and markets to consumers. We're supporting initiatives that encourage local production, responsible investment, food processing, storage systems, one of which I mentioned, logistics improvement, and cooperatives participation. We're also expanding opportunities for small businesses and women-led enterprises because inclusive economic growth remains central to the development agenda of this administration. And I'll give you two examples within my ministry, directly relevant to the conversations we're having here today. The first is LASMECO, Lagos State Access to Finance through cooperatives, and it's specifically channeled to SMEs. One of the things that I always do regularly is I engage with the business member organizations. Why do I do that? I do that in order to really understand what are the successes, what are the challenges, and what are the issues that we can tackle. And obviously they give me a long list, and in that list, we all know we cannot boil an ocean, but it's about prioritizing. One of the issues, and I'm sure the CEO and my sister and other business operators here will understand and resonate, is power. And we all know that power is important. I'm happy to say that that's been decentralized. My colleague, the Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, has now successfully had it legislated at the judicial arm, which is the Lagos State House of Assembly. And I'm part of the committee. We're working assiduously, working with the private sector to ensure not only do we get consistent power, but also renewable, affordable power. So that's one thing that's been tackled. Another one is about access for these, one of the ladies, I was listening to her very intently, the likes of these solopreneurs is what I call them, who are clearly one of your stakeholders and business partners. And one of the things they really were very concerned about is access to affordable finance. And so one of the things, because cooperatives is under my ministry, is I went away and I partnered and had a very compelling conversation with the Bank of Industry. And then I also went back to my boss, Mr. Governor, and I explained, or should I say defended, the case for him to approve my memo, and he did. And what did he approve? He approved 5 billion initial funding at 0%. And then I went back to Bank of Industry, who matched that. Obviously not at 0%, but they matched at a single digit, 9%. And so we're able to provide a loan facility to the likes of solopreneurs for their businesses to scale at 9%, non-collateralized, 3-year moratorium, and us also working with them. So we also hired what we call accelerators. So they're subject matter experts in different sectors. And their job is to actually work with these small MSME businesses so that they can really grow and scale their businesses and actually use the fund for what it's supposed to be used, not to go and marry another or build another house. So we're really also making sure the loan repayment rate as well, because that's a risk. So I just really felt that was a thing to share with you, and I'm expecting the applause, yes! Thank you very much. So for entrepreneurs in the food and nutrition value chain, processors, distributors, agri-allied producers, and small traders, LASMECO represents a direct lifeline. Access to affordable capital means the ability to invest in better equipment, expand production, improve storage, reach more consumers, nutritious food not only to be produced but efficiently and affordably through our communities. And LASMECO is one of those mechanisms. The second is the Lagos State Export Readiness Program. So Lagos State Export Readiness Program is an initiative developed in partnership with Afrexim Bank and Impactor. To really just summarize it rather than reading this, it's really just about ensuring that from a Lagos State standpoint, I'm not just always being invited to incoming trade missions, but right now, aren't we all proud when we start exporting made in Lagos? So these are just some of the things that we're also trying to work with. And I'm delighted to say that I took our first outgoing trade mission to the last Intra-Africa Trade Fair in Algiers last year. Thank you. Underpinning both the programs, I'm delighted and proud to also share, was that we launched the Lagos State Industrial Policy 2025 to 2030. And it's really launched to reposition Lagos as the manufacturing hub of Africa. The policy focuses on industrial estate upgrades, innovation support, infrastructure expansion, and stronger public-private partnership collaboration, creating the structural foundation within which enterprises in the food, nutrition, and agro-processing sectors can grow, compete, and thrive. And I'm delighted to say that when I attended the Nigerian Industrial Policy launch in Abuja, I listened very intently. And obviously I came back, and yes, we all know Lagos State is what? The center of excellence. And I sat down and I'd already started working on our policy at that time. But in working with it, I realized that we also needed to engage the private sector. After all, the industrial policy is to ensure businesses thrive. And so we worked with business member organizations. UNIDO was one, GIZ is another, and other business members, Lagos State Chamber of Commerce, NASIMA, I could go on and on. And so we did that and got all their feedback, and I went back to the drawing board to make sure we incorporated all of that. I also took it to the Executive Council, my colleagues, and all the relevant agencies. Needless to say, I was sent back 4 times. It was painful, very, very painful. But you know what? They say when you look at the outcome, you always celebrate. So I then also took it one step further. I took it to the Nigeria Economic Summit Group for them to pressure test it. And NIPS, we all NIPS, the Nigerian Policy, you know what it is anyway, the acronym, in Plateau. So again, they pressure tested, and likely to say that finally, when I now took it back to Mr. Governor and my colleagues, it was approved. And so I just felt that it was important to mention that this industrial policy is now rolled out, and we've taken it one step further. We're now also having an implementation framework set up, comprising both private sector and public sector. And why have I done that? Because we don't just want a policy, we want actions, we want outcomes, and we want businesses to thrive. So I felt that was something to share with you, because the LSIP reflects a coherent strategy, finance, enterprise, and ensuring that we also build capacity and open the market and anchor it on a sound industrial policy. And this is how we move nutritious conversations to nutritious outcomes. So the truth is simple. Nutritious food must not only be available, it must also be affordable and consistently accessible to all households. And that is where the market systems matter. That is where investment matters. And that is where policy matters. And that is also where partnerships such as this become incredibly and exceptionally important. Lagos State remains open and ready for strategic partnerships that improve the lives while driving economic growth. Our administration believes strongly in the power of public-private collaboration to solve complex challenges. We appreciate organizations like Nestle that continue to demonstrate long-term commitment to Nigeria through investment, innovation, job creation, local sourcing, and consumer education. These efforts contribute significantly to economic development while supporting our national health objectives. So as we continue to strengthen the economic future of Lagos, we're also positioning the state as Africa's preferred destination for investment, innovation, enterprise, and sustainable growth. In this regard, I'm pleased to mention the forthcoming Invest in Lagos 3.0 Summit, scheduled for the 8th and 9th of June at Eco Hotels, Victoria Island. This summit is global this year. We've partnered with the Commonwealth, and we all know the Commonwealth comprises of 56 countries. We're bringing investors, policymakers, development institutions, business leaders, innovators, and global stakeholders to explore opportunities across sectors of the economy, food systems, agro-processing, and nutritious linked industries. We invite Nestle to come and partner with us, come and be part of this. It represents more than an event. It's a strategic platform designed to deepen conversations around investment opportunities, infrastructure development, industrial growth, food systems, digital innovation, sustainability, and economic transformation. We believe the future of Africa's growth story will be significantly shaped by cities like Lagos, We continue to drive commerce, enterprise, creativity, and innovation at scale. We warmly invite Nestle Nigeria and all partners gathered here today to be part of that conversation. We're inviting investors and development partners to see Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge of nutrition requires collective action. Governments alone cannot solve it. The private sector alone cannot solve it. Development institutions alone cannot solve it. Sustainable progress will only come when we align policy, investment, innovation, education, community engagement towards shared outcomes. So as we deliberate today, let us move beyond conversations, but move to practical commitments. Let us invest in systems that ensure nutritious food reaches every single household. Let us support local enterprises that strengthen supply chains. Programs like La SMECO and La SERV are doing exactly just that. I once again commend Nestle Nigeria for this important initiative and for providing a platform that brings together leaders across sectors to develop meaningful conversations, actionable solutions. I appreciate all stakeholders present here today for your dedication to improving nutritious outcomes and strengthening Nigeria's economic future. Together, through partnership, innovation, and purposeful leadership, we build a healthier, stronger, and more prosperous society for all. I close by saying thank you. God bless Lagos State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And as we say in Lagos, Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe wa ni. Thank you.